so the first thing I want to point out is when the cover is on, it has this nice little handle for you to pick the machine up, and you'll take it off. If this pin for the thread is up, you won't be able to put the cover on, so you want to put that down every time you put the cover on. And I'm going to show you next how to assemble the rest of this stuff so you can get started. For your two cords, the black cord is the power cord, which you'll plug in, and the white cord is for the foot. And the white cord for the foot gets plugged in at the back of the machine here, and then the power cord gets attached right here, and you'll see there's a square side and a circle side, so you know there's no way to like plug it in wrong. So everything's plugged in, and this is your power switch to turn it on. Makes that little happy sound as soon as it wakes up. One of the things you'll want to do is remove this little drawer here. Inside is a little packet that contains a bunch of tools, needles, etc., different feet that you might want to put on the machine. And instead you will attach this little guy, which will go on like this. I can't do it with one hand, but this will be what you sew on top of. So you pull all three legs down, and then you just slide it in right to where that drawer was. And then next we're going to talk about threading the bobbin that goes down here, and adding the top thread as well, which goes up here. So I actually always forget how to load the top thread, but it's right here on page 13 of the manual. And one thing, it's important to note which way the thread is going. So you see the thread is going this way around the top, and we'll go ahead and install this together, because then you go like bloop 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 bloop, and it could be confusing. Okay, so we've put the thread on top with the thread spinning that way. Then you take it through this thing, down this thing, and just hook behind it. It has the number 3 on it. And then you have to get it through this little guy. So you just go around and behind it, and it will rise up. You can spin it with your hand. This little thing, it's got a hole in it. You put the thread behind it, and you'll hook it, and now you're through the hole. Then the next thing to do is the needle part. So you go behind this little bit right here, this little hook. I didn't say I was great at this. So you see it's behind there. The next thing to do is thread it through the needle front to back. There is this little grabber thing that you're supposed to be able to press down on, and it's supposed to help you thread the needle, but I've never really found it to be all that successful. It's supposed to be where you put it through these two little teeth thing, and it drags it through. Oh, what do you know? I did it. Okay, well, I hope you saw that. Sometimes I just stab it. And then you take it through the two teeth of the teeth of the foot, sure. And then you pull the thread back. And now we're gonna do the bobbin underneath. All right, so now we're doing the bobbin. I already actually have a bobbin in here, but I'm gonna take it out just so I can show you. So if you forget how to do this, there's a little symbol right here that shows you exactly how you're supposed to do it. And I forget every single time, so I appreciate that. So again, you want to make sure you pay attention to which way the thread is going. In this case, it's going this way. So you just plop it down in there, and then you want to get it underneath this little plastic bit here. So you put it under there, you thread it up through here, and then you're here, and then go ahead and put your case cover here on. And you can, there's a little razor blade right here that will just nip the extra bit off. And now we have to pull the bobbin thread up through the top, which you do with the top needle. I'll show you once again. Okay, so you're gonna hold on to the top thread and spin this wheel here towards you slowly. It's gonna grab that. So the needle's going down, and the top thread is just grabbing the bottom, and once you reach back up to the top again, you can just pull this thread, and it will pull the bottom thread out. And then you've got to kind of grab it with your hands. So now you have 2 threads to start sewing, and I've given you some scratch fabric so you can try some stitches, but one tip that I didn't know when I was getting started is you have to hold on to these two ends of thread when you start stitching. So I'll do a couple stitches for you so you can see how that part works. Okay, so I'm holding on to my thread in the back. We're gonna lower the foot, and when I'm ready, I'm gonna just press the pedal on that's on the floor, and that'll start the stitching. One thing you don't want to do is push or pull the fabric, because that will lead to breaking the needle. And then when you're all done, you use the wheel on the side to finish the stitch. You pull up the foot, and then you can just pull out the fabric. Do a nice snip here with your scissors of the top and bottom thread. This is what that stitch looked like. Nothing fancy, just your basic stitch on my old pillowcase.